Hi, this is Dr. Sam Goldstein for schoolpsych.com. It's a great pleasure to be here today and provide this webinar for you. One of the most challenging aspects of our work as school psychologists is keeping up on the science. Knowing and understanding what's happening in research is critical to knowing and understanding what to do in clinical practice, whether you're in the schools or in the community or in a hospital setting. The transition of knowledge sometimes gets bogged down in the scientific arena. And sometimes it takes many years before what we are learning in the research finds its way into practical school psychology or clinical or neuropsychology. So today I hope to close that gap a bit and provide you with updates in a variety of areas having to do with autism spectrum disorder, including more information about history, about assessment, and even about some of the things that we don't often think about in regards to what does it mean to have autism spectrum disorder. And of course, we'll talk a little bit about assessment and some about practical intervention. First, my relevant disclosures. As you'll see up on the screen, I've been quite involved in the last 40 years of my professional career in Salt Lake City, involved with autism spectrum disorder, including authoring and editing a number of textbooks on treatment and evaluation of autism with my colleagues Jack Naglieri and Sally Ozanoff, as well as developing what I'm proud to say is one of the most widely used tools all over the world, the ASRS. We won't be speaking very much about that today, but we will be talking about assessment in general and the importance of a comprehensive assessment because of the co-occurring problems, or the term we use sometimes is comorbidity, that children with autism spectrum experience. So let's get started. We are social beings. What do I mean by that? Look at the benefits we derive from being with each other. We are not polar bears. We are not isolated creatures that live on our own. We evolved as a species over the last 20 or 30,000 years, living in groups. And what we've done in the last few hundred years is live in larger and larger groups, but we benefit quite a bit from socialization. There are parts of our brain that, if deprived of socialization, lead not only to failure to thrive and lack of development, but also lead us to mental health problems. We derive support. Socialization enhances our survival. They're around us who look out for us and for whom we look out for. Socialization provides us with affiliation and pleasure. Of course, procreation. We require another of our species, the opposite gender, in order to procreate. Socialization provides knowledge, and one of the things we know is that complex human behaviors, like socialization, require experience. You may have all the genes to speak. If no one speaks to you, you won't speak. You may have all the genes to socialize. If people don't socialize around you, you don't know how to do it. So socialization is not instinctual, and it's one of the reasons I believe that children with autism spectrum disorder struggle so greatly to benefit from the types of interventions we provide. And socialization, of course, provides friendship. And we're well aware that the development of normal friendships throughout childhood and into the adolescent years is a powerful positive predictor of mental health and adult adjustment. Unfortunately, the social development of children with autism spectrum disorder is different from other children. Normal children are driven to socialize. They seek out that social interaction. And we know that infants born from the first day of birth, infants seem to be hardwired to seek out female faces over male faces, to listen for female voices over male voices. And in fact, if an infant, a normal infant, can't find a face to look at, they will look at a design or a light. But we know that there are some infants born without that instinct, and they don't distinguish the face of a mother or a father or another human being as in any way different from any other face. Imagine what that would be like if you suddenly found yourself in an environment in which you didn't know what was important to look for. And infants are programmed in an instinctual way. They smile at us, we smile at them. They make eye contact, and there's a part in our brains in the right prefrontal cortex that only lights up when we see infants. So infants have this instinctually evolutionary developed set of traits to engage us, so we protect them, we take care of them, we look out for them, and we derive great pleasure in the process, even when they cry, even when their needs are consuming of our time. And what we know is that children with autism seem to be born without that capacity. They don't distinguish faces from other stimuli in the environment.